Good morning. Today we'll study about projection of solids. You know, solids can be a prism, pyramid, cone, and a cylinder. Okay, and there is the tetrahedron and hexahedron. So these are the solids for which you have to draw the projections. Okay, on your screen you are seeing the prism. You know, the prism has a top face A, B, C, D and a base A1, B1, C1 and D1. Okay, they are flat surfaces. This is the base. A1, B1, C1 is the base. C1, D1 and A, B, C, D is the top face. And they are having rectangular faces, vertical rectangular faces. You can see. So A1, A, B1 and B. This forms a rectangular face. Okay, and B1, B, C and C1 is another rectangular face. C1, D1, DC is another rectangular face. Okay, like that. If it is a square prism, the base will be a square A1, B1, C1, D1. Okay, and there will be four rectangular faces, vertical rectangular faces, and there will be a top face which will be the same size as the base. So this is called as a regular square prism. Okay, so the name of the prism is defined by the shape of the base it has. If the base is a square, so the prism is called as a square prism. If the base is a pentagon, okay, base and top face is a pentagon, regular pentagon, it is called as a pentagonal prism. So if the base is a hexagon and the top face is a hexagon, then it is called as a hexagonal prism. Okay, now this prism has the base edges. Okay, you can see A1, B1, B1, C1, C1 and D1. Okay, these are called as the base edges. So if it is a square prism, it will have four base edges. Okay, and the point at which the two base edges meet, it is called as the corner. Okay, so here in this figure, A1 is the corner, B1 is the corner, C1 is the corner and D1 is the corner of the base. Okay, similarly you have the top face where A, B, C, D are the corners of the top face. Okay, so a square prism has four sides and four corners, four base edges and four corners. Okay, so this is about the prisms. As I said, you will have a square prism, you will have a pentagonal prism and you will have a hexagonal prism. Okay, and these are called as the longer edges. Okay, in the problems you will come across this word, so you have to remember this word. This is called as the longer edge, that is the line, the edge D1, D and D1, C and C1, B and B1 and A and A1. Okay, so they are called as the longer edges of the prism. Okay, so the prism has its base, rectangular faces and longer edges. Now coming to pyramids, you can see this is a pyramid. Okay, this is a pyramid. It has a base and the apex. Okay, so and it has slant triangular faces. You can see the triangular faces are slant. Okay, so the pyramid has a base and slant triangular faces and the apex. Okay, so these are called as the slant edges. Okay, these are called as slant edges of the pyramid. So in case of prisms, it was a straight line, vertical edge. Okay, uh, the longer it is called as longer edge in case of prisms. But in case of pyramids, this line which joins the corner of the base to the apex is called as the slant edge. And a pyramid has slant triangular faces. So because this is a square pyramid, okay, uh, sorry, here you have, this is A, the corner A of the pyramid, this is the corner B, base of the pyramid, this is C, and this is D. So again, the name of the pyramid is defined by the shape of the base. Okay, if here the shape of the base is approximately a square, okay, so it is called as a square pyramid. If the base of the pyramid is a square, it is called as a square pyramid. If the base is a regular pentagon, it is called as a pentagonal pyramid. Okay, and if the base is a hexagon, regular hexagon, it is called as the hexagonal pyramid. Okay, and all the lines, the lines joining the corner, or the edges joining the corner to the apex, they are called as the slant edge. Okay, and the surface, triangular surface of the pyramid. Okay, in case of prisms, you had rectangular faces, but in case of pyramid, you have triangular faces, but that surface is slant. The triangular surface is slant. Therefore, it is called as the slant triangular face. So you have to remember these terms. Okay, so this is called as the slant edge. Okay, this is called the apex. Okay, and this is called the base of the pyramid. Okay, and the imaginary line joining the center of the base to the apex is called as the axis. Is called as the axis of the pyramid. So axis plays a very important role in projection of solids. Okay, you'll learn about that. Now this is a prism. Okay, this is the base and this is the top face. So the line, imaginary line joining the center of the top face and center of the base is called as the axis. Okay, in all the problems in projection of solids, he will mention the inclination of the axis with respect to HP and VP. So here in projection of solids, unlike in case of projection of planes, the solids will be resting on HP only. They will not be resting on VP. So you will have problems only on solids resting on HP. Okay, so the solid may rest on one of the edges of the base on HP like this. Okay, if you look from the side, this is the edge on which the prism is resting on HP. So you have to tilt it. So this is, it is resting on its base completely. If it is resting on the edge, then you have to tilt it like this so that it is resting on this edge B1 and C1 like this. So what happens to the axis? The position of the axis changes. From vertical, it becomes inclined to HP. Okay, so this is when the axis is vertical and the base is completely resting on HP. So if he says in the problem the prism is resting on one of the sides of base or edges of base on HP, then you have to tilt the prism so that the axis becomes inclined to HP. So this will be the second position. Okay, always, because the, as I said, in solids, the solids will be resting on HP only, they will not be resting on VP. Okay, first position is this is called as the initial position. I will come to that. and this is when the edge is resting on one of the base edges on HP. When the prism is resting on base edges on HP, the axis is inclined to HP. Now in this position, the axis is parallel to VP. Okay, if you consider a vertical plane here, okay, the axis is parallel to VP. Okay, suppose this is the vertical plane, you can see the axis is parallel to VP. Okay, now in all the problems he will give two conditions of the axis. One is the axis is inclined to HP, and second is the axis is inclined to VP. Okay, so now in this position the axis is parallel to VP. So if you tilt it like this, the axis becomes inclined to VP, or you can tilt it like this, again the axis becomes inclined to VP. Okay, so these are the two positions. Sometimes he will say that the axis is inclined to VP, or he will say the edge which is resting on HP is inclined to VP. Okay, so these are the type of problems you will get in projection of prisms. Okay, we will solve a few problems, you will understand better. Now for all this prisms resting on one of the edges of the base on HP, okay, you should draw the initial position imagining that the prism is completely resting on HP and the edge, this edge B1 C1, which is resting on HP, is perpendicular to VP. It must be perpendicular to the vertical plane, and it must be to your right. Okay, so this will be the initial position. So in the top you will be seeing the top face. The base will be hidden. Okay, so draw the top view, a square. Okay, and name the top face A, B, C, and D. So this is in capital letters, but when you draw the projection it must be small letters, A, B, C, and D. Okay, so you'll get a square. So the base will be hidden. Okay, so below B will be B1, below C will be C1, below D will be D1, below A will be A1. So all the base corners are hidden, therefore they must be in brackets. So A1, B1, C1, D1 will be in brackets. Okay, then next is find out the center of the base or center of the top face. In the top view, find the center of the base. Okay, so that will be the axis. So project the axis to the top view. Okay, and what you will be seeing in the front view? In the front view you will see this. Okay, so this is what you see: A1, B1, and B. A rectangle. The front view will be a rectangle. The top view will be a square. The front view will be a rectangle. So this will form the initial position of the prism. Okay, next, as I said, when a solid is resting on HP, then the HP condition should be fulfilled first, that is the axis is inclined to HP. Okay, then the VP condition. In the third set of views you have to fulfill the VP condition. So the axis is inclined to VP, or he can say it appears to be inclined to VP, or he can say the edge on which it is resting, on the edge on which the prism is resting on HP, now it is perpendicular to VP. Okay, so he can say the axis is inclined to HP like this, and the edge on which it is resting on HP is inclined to VP like this. Okay, so these are the type of problems, three types of problems you will get. First is the prism is resting on one of the base edges on HP, okay, such that the axis is inclined to HP and inclined to VP. So this is one type of problem. Next type of problem is the axis is inclined to HP, appears to be inclined to VP. Okay, that I'll teach you when I solve the problems. Okay, next is the axis is inclined to HP and the edge on which it is resting on HP is inclined to VP. So in this position it is perpendicular to VP, so it becomes inclined to VP. Either you turn it like this or you turn it like this, it becomes inclined to VP. Okay, so that will be the third set of views. So initial position is very important in projection of solids and projection of planes too. So you should know how to draw the initial position. Okay, so this is about the projection of prisms. Now about the pyramids. Now you can see the pyramid has the base edge, okay, and the slant edge and the slant triangular face. Now the problems you may get is, one type of problem is when the pyramid is resting on one of the base edges on HP like this. Okay, as I said, the line joining the center of the base and the apex is an imaginary line and it is called as the axis. Okay, so when you tilt this prism pyramid such that it is resting on the base edge, then the axis becomes inclined to HP. Okay, then how you will get the problems is this. So draw the projections of a pyramid, okay, whether it is a square pyramid or pentagonal pyramid or hexagonal pyramid, such that the axis is inclined to HP at some angle and it is inclined to VP. Okay, suppose this is the vertical plane, this is the vertical plane. In this position, so the pyramid is resting on HP on one of the base edges. So it is like this. The axis becomes inclined to HP, but it is parallel to VP. Okay. So if he says the axis is inclined to VP, you have to tilt the pyramid like this. Okay. Or if he says the edge on which it is resting, you can on HP, that is in this position. Okay. The edge is perpendicular to VP, and he'll say in some problems he'll say the edge is inclined to VP. Okay. So the axis will be inclined to HP and the edge on which it is resting on HP will be inclined to VP. Okay. So three types of problems you will get in these pyramids also. 5 types of problems you will get. One is the axis is inclined to HP, inclined to VP. Second is the axis is inclined to HP, appears to be inclined to VP. Apparent inclination will be directly given to you. Okay. Third is the axis is inclined to HP and the edge on which it is resting on HP is inclined to VP. So this is the third position. The fourth position, the fourth type of problems which you will get is like this. What he will say is the pyramid is resting on one of its slant triangular faces on HP. Okay, so if B, C and O is the slant triangular face, it is resting on that face on HP like this. So you can see when the pyramid is resting like this, because it is a slant triangular face, the axis will become inclined to HP. Then he will say the axis is inclined to VP, okay, or appears to be inclined to VP. Two types of problems you may get. Okay, so I'll teach you how to solve those two types of problems. So this is another type of problem which you will get in this, when the pyramid is resting on one of the base edges on HP. Okay, so one is the axis is inclined to HP, inclined to VP. Then second type is the axis is inclined to HP, appears to be inclined to VP. Then third type is the axis is inclined to HP, the edge on which it is resting is inclined to VP. Okay, so we'll solve these problems, okay, today in today's class we will solve this problem. I'll solve one problem, so the other problems also can be solved on the same line. So we'll start with a square prism resting on HP on one of the base edges. So draw the XY line. Then imagine the prism to be completely resting on HP on the base. So in this position, draw the top view. Okay, the top view will be a square. So we'll draw the top view.